Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to set up a mail merge template. I traditionally use a template so that I do not have to continuously go in and remake all of this material. I just go in, modify the data, and then I'm able to send my new emails to my parents. So your first step, you're going to need to open up Excel. So once you get into Excel, you'll see this big page that has all kinds of different options on it. You're going to click the blank workbook. Now, anything that you put into your first row, that top row, is going to be your labels that you're going to use when you get into the mail merge Word document. So you want to make sure that whatever you put into that top row is an identifiable title for you. Now, I personally want to show you how to set up more of a template so we can use some kind of specific terms that are in specific. So like I'm going to use a lot of A, B's, and C's because those are going to correspond with something that I'll recognize later. You can set these up however you wish. So usually what you would have is you would have the student first name. So we could put, Stacy, Thomas, Tiffany, Bailey, just naming some names. And then I usually will have one that just says student full name. This way, if I need to identify the full student in any way, I have that. So let's say Stacy, let's make her last name, Madison, and Thomas Walton, and Tiffany Shoham, and Bailey Jones. So we have our full names in there. And the next thing you want to do is you want to put in the email addresses, so student email. So let's say stacy@gmail.com, and Thomas@gmail.com, Tiffany@gmail.com, and Bailey@gmail.com. And I'm just going to widen this up a little bit just so you guys can see all the stuff that we've typed so far. So then you're going to have, the parent one email address. So I usually put both the parent and the student emails into my Excel file. That way I am able to contact whoever it is I need to contact, and I can share the information. So I've got the parent one emails in there. Now let me go into parent two emails, and you can pause this video at any point if I'm going too fast. I'm just showing you how to set it up, so you'll be able to set it up yourself. So parent two Thomas, and so on and so forth. And so now this is where we get into the actual information part. Now I usually use my mail merges to send information to the students about their tests and their quizzes. So I'm just going to set mine as the titles being, Chapter A average, Chapter B average, Chapter C, and then Chapter C average. And so this is how it would be, and so you would save this file. I'm just going to save it onto my desktop just so it'll be easy to find later. So mail merge template. Now I want to actually put some data in here so we'll be able to do our next step when we get into the mail merge. So I'm just going to go ahead and just add some random data in here just so that we have data. So we'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and just so that I have the information, I'm just going to go ahead and just find the average. Okay, so save that. And now we're going to close this, and you can either completely close it or exit out of it. It doesn't matter. But your next step is you're going to go into a Word document. And now again, you want to open up a blank Word document because we're making our template. I go later on and I enter back into my templates, I modify the data, and then I go back on and send my emails. So traditionally you want to start out the message of to the parents of, and this is where you're going to add in the information. Well, I haven't started my mail merge yet. So what you'll have to do is you go up to this thing that says mailings. So click on mailings, and you're going to start your mail merge. Now there's a bunch of different options here. You could do letters, you could do email address messages, envelopes, labels, and directory. I always do letters no matter what it is that I'm making. So you go to letters, and then you need to select your recipients. This is where you select the Excel file that you've set it all up in. So I go to my desktop and I select my mail merge template, and I click open. Now, if you had multiple pages to your Excel file, those would all show up here, but I only have that one page. So I'm just going to click OK. And so now I can actually insert the student full name. So it'll say to the parents of whichever student. So now anything that you want to be the same for every single person, you type into this Word document. Anything that you want to vary so that it's specific for the student, you'll use those mail merge fields. So I'm just going to write a quick little message to the parents of so what. I'm just going to say this is the information from our last test. Now you would have something a lot more solid than that, but I'm just doing a little quick demo here. Now I do all my stuff through tables. You could just make it as a straight up message. It doesn't actually have to come into a table. So I'm make my table here. So student name, say chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7, right? So you're going to put whatever it is that you want to have on your chapters. Now, remember earlier I said that I don't use, specific names. I use stuff that is logical for me. So when I'm making my quizzes and I'm making my information for the parents or the students, I put all the actual information here. So my A corresponds with chapter 5, my B corresponds with chapter 6, and my C corresponds with chapter 7. So I don't have to continuously go into the Excel file and change all of those fields to match the chapters. All I have to do is change the information that's within the Excel file. So let's say that I want to insert the student first name here. Oh, I didn't want full name, I'm sorry. Student first name. Okay. And then I'm going to put in the chapter A, chapter B, and then chapter C. Okay, and then I traditionally will have the average at the bottom so that the students know how they did versus everyone else. So you got 61.5. So now I've done this, let me know if you have any questions. Okay. So I finished writing my letter. So traditionally what you want to do is you want to just kind of look over it, make sure that it's how you wanted it. So go to that preview results button and you can look it over, like to the parents of Stacy Madison. Okay, Stacy's in here, those scores look around right. Okay, let's go to the next student. Thomas Walton, yeah, that looks good. Tiffany looks good, and Bailey. Yep, that looks good. So once you're done, you'll go to this finish and merge button and you'll send email messages. So this too is where you're actually going to select which email you're sending it to. So I first want to send it to the parent 1. And I'm just going to say this week's, let's say quiz number 2 data. You can make it whatever subject line you want. But once you're done, you'll press that OK button. As soon as you press OK, it does start to send your emails. So if we go into my sent box, you will see here's all of those emails that I just sent. If you wanted to send it to another parent, you'd go through that same step and you would then send to the parent 2 email. Okay. And as you can see, I do have a bunch of them that are popping up because they are not actual ones. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, that you didn't want to send it to everybody. So you would go to that edit recipient list and you could actually delete out the people you don't want to send it to. Let's say I don't want to send it to Thomas. Okay. So when you're previewing, it's not going to have Thomas in there anymore. As well as it will not send the email to Thomas. So let's say Thomas skipped the quiz or he was absent. You don't want to send the data or that information to his parents because, well, he didn't miss it. So once you're done, you would save it. So I'm just going to save it as my template. So I'll be able to go back into it later. So mail merge template. And now I've got my template ready to roll. So I hope that was helpful and have a wonderful day.